Hello everyone, let's look over chapter 10, chemical bonding. Write electron configuration, orbital diagram, valence electrons, co-electron of oxygen. First, we need to know atomic number of oxygens. Atomic number of oxygen is 8. So, when you write down electron configuration, so 1s2, 2s2, 2p4. It means there are two electrons in 1s orbital, two electrons in 2s orbital, and four electrons in 2p orbitals. And then next orbital diagrams. So 1s, you need one box. It means 1s. So there are two electrons pointing up, pointing down, and 2s, one orbitals, we need one box, pointing up, pointing down. 2p, we need three boxes, three orbital, p, 2px, 2py, 2pg. So there are four electrons, so pointing up, pointing up, pointing up, pointing down. That's an orbital diagram. And then we need to determine valence electrons. Find the highest principal quantum number. That's number 2. And then add up. 2 plus 4 equals 6. So there are 6 valence electrons. And then co-electron. Electron minus valence electron equals co-electron. This is a valence electron. This is a co-electron. That's total electrons. Each dot represents valence electrons. The dots replace around the element's symbol with maximum 2 dots per side. Although exact location of the dots is not critical, here we fill in the dots singly first and then pair them. Restructures. So for the older period, two elements are lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine, neon. Group 1A to Group 8A. In Group 1A, element has one valence electron. Group 2A elements have a two valence electron. Group 8A elements have eight valence electrons. So Lewis structures allow us to easily see the number of valence electrons. Atoms with 8 valence electrons, which are particularly stable, are easily identified because they have 8 dots on octet. If there is one valence electron, you can put one dot on the right side or on the left side, bottom, or left side or top. You can choose one of them. Stable conformation usually consists of 8 electrons in outermost or valence shell. This observation leads to octet rules. In chemical bonding, atoms transfer or share electrons to obtain outer shells with 8 valence electrons. Octet rule generally apply to all main group elements except hydrogen, lithium, beryllium. Each of these elements achieves stability when it has two electrons. So a duet in its outermost shells. In Lewis's theory, chemical bond involve sharing or transfer of elements, electrons, to attain stable electron configuration of bonding atoms. If electrons are transferred, the bond is ionic bond. If electrons are shared, the bond is covalent bond. Okay, let's learn how to draw restructure of ionic compound. Electron transfer. When metal bonded with nonmetals, electrons are transferred from metal to nonmetals. The metal becomes a cation, nonmetal becomes anion. When potassium and chlorine bond, potassium transfer its valence electron to chlorine. When you draw restructure of a potassium, there is one valence electron on potassium, seven valence electron on chlorine. So metal is a valence electron transferred to non-metal. So it becomes cation. Lose one valence electron, so positive one. Gain one electron, then negative one. Okay. So use a bracket. So uh, format to draw ion compound, symbol of cation, charge of cation. And bracket, symbol of anion, 8 dots. And charge of anion. That's a format to draw ionic compound. What about magnesium oxide? Draw restructure of magnesium oxygen. So group 2A, there are two valence electrons. So magnesium, put 2 dots. Okay, 1 dot per each. And then oxygen has 6 valence electrons. So we need 6 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next in pair, 5 and 6. So in magnesium oxide, magnesium loses its two valence electrons, resulting in two positive two charges. Oxygen gains two electrons, attaining two negative charge on octet. So sh share transfer electron to nonmetal, transfer electron to nonmetal. So what charge of magnesium? So magnesium positive 2, and then use bracket and symbol of non-matter and 8 dots and charge of anion 2 minus. This is restructure of ionic compound, magnesium oxide. What about sodium sulfide? So there are two sodium. Sodium has one valence electron because group 1A. And sulfur has 6 valence electrons because sulfur is in a group 6A. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So metals is a valence electron transferred to non-metal. So restructure of sodium sulfide is Na positive bracket sulfur 8 dots 2 minus and sodium 1 plus. That's restructurable Na2S. What about restructures of covalent compound? Electron shared. When nonmetals bonded with other nonmetals, molecular compounds result. Molecular compounds contain covalent bonds in which electrons are shared between atoms rather than shared. For example, hydrogen oxygen have restructures. Hydrogen has one valence electron from group 1A. Oxygen has 6 valence electron from group 6A. So in water, H2O. So there are two hydrogen Okay, one oxygen. So hydrogen, oxygen share their electron. So each hydrogen atom gets dual, oxygen atom get octet. So share. Then finally, you can draw restructure of H2O. So when you focus on left hydrogen, okay, there are two valence electrons. So hydrogen follow dual. On the right side, you can see hydrogen. There are two hydrogen, so dual. But oxygen, when you count number of valence electrons, 2, 4, 6, 8. So that's oxygen follow duals. Electrons are shared between two atoms are called bonding pair electron. So in this case, bonding pair electrons. Electrons are only one on one atom are called lone pair or non-bonding electron. So when you see oxygen, you can see lone pair or non-bonding electrons. Bonding pair electrons are often represented by dashes to emphasize their chemical bond. Now, can you see dashes, one dashes? Remember, each dash represents a pair of shared electrons. So now, can you see one dash, a pair of shared electrons? Double bonds. In Lewis theory, atoms can share more than one electron pair to attain one octet. For example, oxygen exists as diatomic molecule O2. So when you draw restructure of oxygen, oxygen has six valence electrons. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But there are two oxygen, right? And then share electron. Okay. Then you can draw this restructure. So when you count restructure valence electron 2, 4, 6, 8. On the right side 2, 4, 6, 8. So oxygen follow octet rule. So satisfy. So you can use two dashes. Okay, we can call this a double bond. Okay, let's focus on triple bonds. In research theory, atom can share more than one electron pair. For example, nitrogen N2. So restructure of nitrogen. So nitrogen has a five valence electron from group 5A. 1, 2, 3, 4, and next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, next 5. And then share electrons. Electrons. Then you can draw restructure of N2. So 6 electron between nitrogen, 2 electron per each nitrogen. Okay. Also, you can use three dashes. Three dashes, so triple bond. What about to draw? There are procedure to draw restructure of covalent compound. Step 1, follow steps. Calculate total number of valence electron of each atom in the molecule. For example, water H2O. There are two hydrogen, two times number of valence electron in hydrogen, plus there's one oxygen, one time number of valence electron in oxygen. So 2 times valence electron of hydrogen, 1. 1 time valence electron of oxygen, 6. So total 8 valence electron. So first, calculate total valence electron. Step 2, Connect atoms by single bond to central atom. So first you need to find central atom. So you need to use the lowest electronegativity value to determine central atom. Later, you learn electronegative values. So find the lowest electronegative value to choose central atom. But except hydrogen. Hydrogen should be a surrounding atom, not central atom. So electronegative value of oxygen 3.5, hydrogen 2.1. Okay, oxygen is the central atom. So hydrogen atom will always be terminal since hydrogen require only dual. It never be central atom because central atom must be able to form at least two bonds. Hydrogen can form only one. Step 3, this three, so we connect atoms by single bond. So we have a valence electron, and then we can use two single bonds, right? So we use four valence electron, then four valence electron left over. So these three electrons, two surrounding atoms first, and then central atom to satisfy octal loop, except hydrogen. So let's put two lone pairs on central atom because hydrogen satisfy dual. Okay, so 4 minus 4 equals 0. So we use a valence electron. And then step 4, satisfy covalence rules, neutral molecules. So hydrogen has one bonding pair and 0 non-bonding pair. Okay. For example, this hydrogen has one bonding pair, 0 lone pair. Carbon and or silicon, four bonding pairs or 0 non-bonding pair. For example, CH4, methane gas. So when you focus on carbon, one, two, three, four, four bonding pairs, 0 lone pair. Also silicon the same. Nitrogen. So NH3, nitrogen has three bonding pair, one, two, three, one non-bonding pair. Also phosphorus the same. Oxygen or sulfur, two bonding pairs, two non-bonding pairs. So now in H2O, oxygen, one and two bonding pair, two non-bonding pair, two lone pairs. What about halogens? HF. Halogen contains fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Has one bonding pair, three non-bonding pair, one, two, three. And step 5, move electrons to make double or triple bond if necessary. So at home, solve problems or write rule structures for following. So for example, number 1, step 1, calculate total number of valence electron, 5, and hydrogen, 3 hydrogen time 1 valence electron plus oxygen, 6 valence electron. So 5 plus 3 plus 6 equals 14. There are 14 valence electron. Okay? So you need to find central atom, step 2. So electronegative value of nitrogen 3.0, hydrogen 2.1, oxygen 3.5. Hydrogen should be surrounding atom. So choose those these electronegative values, nitrogen, oxygen. But in this case, complicated molecule, okay, you can put central atom and then connect atoms with single bond. So 14 minus 1, 2, 3, 4 single bond 8 equals 6. So 6 valence electrons. So we can put 3 lone pairs on central atom. 1, 2, 3. So, and then next step, satisfy octet rule. Okay. So nitrogen has 1, 2, 3 bonding pairs, 1 lone pair. Oxygen has 2 bonding pairs, 2 lone pair. Hydrogen has 1 bonding pairs, 0 lone pair. That's correct root structure of NH3O. Okay, let's solve them. Solve. Okay. And then write root structure of polyatomic ion. Okay, polyatomic ion. So cyanide ion. So calculate total number of valence electron. Carbon 4, nitrogen 5, and negative charge add electron. Negative 1, add 1 electron. Negative 2, add 2 electron. So total 10. And then connect atoms with single bond. So 10 minus 2 equals 8 left. And then display remaining electron as lone pairs on terminal atoms. So 2, 4, 6, 8. We can use 8 valence electron. And then to satisfy octet, so move electron. And then finally, you can draw restructure of polyatomic ion. So when you draw polyatomic ion restructures, you have to use bracket, restructure, and charges out of box. And then hypochlorite ion restructure. So chlorine group 7A, the 7 valence electron. Oxygen group 6A, 6 valence electron. Negative charge add 1 electron. So total 14. And then connect atoms with single bond. So 14 minus 2 equals 12. So we can make 6 lone pair. So put lone pairs to surrounding atoms. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, 12 valence electron. And then use bracket and put charge of polyatomic ion. This is the Lewis structure of uh, hypochlorite. Lewis theory is often correct in each prediction, but exceptions exist. For example, Lewis structures for nitrogen monoxide has 11 electrons. So when you draw Lewis structure, this one, NO. So, but when you focus on oxygen, 2, 4, 6, 8. Oxygen follow octet rule. Nitrogen, 2, 4, 6, 7, not 8. Okay? That's exception. Another significant exception to octet rule is boron. Tends to form compound with only 6 electrons around the boron rather than 8. So BF3, this is the restructure of BF3. So fluorine 2, 4, 6, 8 follows octet, but focus on boron. Boron has 2, 4, 6, not 8. What about BH3? This is restructure of BH3. When you focus on boron, you can see 2, 4, 6. Okay, you can see the exception. Molecules such as SF6, PCl5 have more than 8 electrons around their surrounding central atom. So SF6, you can see sulfur 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There are 12 valence electrons. PCl5, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10 valence electron exceptions. Okay, why do you need to draw the root structure? The reason is to predict shape of molecules. Research theory combination with valence shell electron pair repulsion theory can be used to predict shape of molecule. So CO2 and you draw restructure, that's restructure of CO2. BSF theory is based on ideal electron groups, lone pair, single bond, multiple bond. Multiple bond include double bond and triple bond. This repulsion between negative charges of the electron groups on the central atom determine geometry of the molecule. So we need to focus on central atom. Okay. So geometry of CO2 determined by repulsion between two electron groups, two double bond. So electron groups, we count one each. So lone pair, single bond, double bond, triple bond. We count one each electron groups. So in here, focus on central atom, one and two. There are two double bonds, right? So electron group, two. Okay. These two electron groups get as far away from each other as possible, resulting in the bond angle 180. Bond angle between electron groups 180. Bond angle between electron groups, that's 180. So linear geometry for CO2. So bonding group 2. Lone pair, there's no lone pair, 0. Electron geometry, the linear. Angle between electron groups, 180. Molecular geometry, linear. Okay. If there's no lone pair on central atom, name of electron geometry is same as name of molecular geometry. So linear. What about formaldehyde? Formaldehyde, that's the restructure of H2CO. So first we need to count electron groups. So there are two single bond, one double bond. So total 3. So bonding group, 1, 2, 3. So lone pairs, on central atom, there's no lone pair. So there's no lone pair on central atom. Name of electron geometry is same as name of molecular geometry. So this molecule has 3 electron groups around the central atom. These 3 electron groups get as far away from each other as possible, resulting in bond angle of 120. So bond angle between electron group 120, 120, 120. So angle between electron groups 120. Okay. electron geometry, trigonal planar. Molecular geometry, trigonal planar. What about CH4? CH4. So focus on central atom. So let's count number of electron groups. There are 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 electron groups. Bonding groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. There's no lone pair on central atom, 0. No lone pair central atom, same names. Electron geometry, tetrahedral. Molecular geometry, tetrahedral. Bond angle between electron groups, that's 109.5, 109.5, 109.5, 109.5. When you build the model, you can see 109.5, not 90. Okay, 109.5. And NH3. So ammonia molecule has 4 electron groups. 1, 2, 3. 3 bonding pairs and 1 lone pair. 1 lone pair and 3 bonding pairs. If you look only the electron geometrical arrangement of the electron groups is tetrahedral. So electron geometry 2, 4, 6, 8, tetrahedral. Molecular geometrical arrangement of atoms is trigonal pyramidal. So focus on atoms only. So trigonal pyramidal structures. So when you determine electron geometry, electron groups on NH3, there's four. Three single bond, one lone pair. Bonding group, one, two, three. Three. Lone pair, one. When you see lone pair on central atom, you can see different name. So electron geometry, tetrahedral, including lone pair 1, 2, 3, 4, tetrahedral. Molecular geometry, just focus on atoms, atoms, trigonal, planar, trigonal, pyramidal. Angle between electron groups on 9.5 degree. In H2O, okay, so there are two single bond, two lone pairs, so total four electron groups. Bonding group 1 and 2, lone pair 1 and 2. So you can see two lone pairs on central atom. You need to see different name. So electron geometry, including electron 2, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4 electron groups. So tetrahedral. Molecular geometry focus on atoms. That's bent. Okay. Angle between electron groups on 9.5. Okay, summary of electron molecular geometry. It's like a formula. Electron groups, bonding group 2, lone pair 0, so linear 180, linear. For example, CO2. Electron group 3, bonding group 3, 0 lone pair, trigonal planar, same name, and 120. Electron group 3, okay, 2 bonding groups, 1 lone pair. So when you see lone pair on central atom, different name. So electron geometry, trigonal planar, molecular geometry, the band. And then electron goes 4 and 0 lone pair, 4 bonding pair, tetrahedral 9.5, tetrahedral, same name. But 3 bonding pair, 1 lone pair, tetrahedral, electron geometry, name of molecular geometry is trigonal pyramidal. Bond angle 9.5. Two bonding group, two lone pair, tetrahedral 9.5. That's a band. Okay? You need to understand and then memorize. Representing molecular geometry on paper. Many chemists use this notation for bonds to indicate three-dimensional structures on two-dimensional paper. So you can use straight line, bond in plane in the paper, and hashes line, bond projecting into paper. Okay, with a bond project out of the paper. So linear, trigonal planar band, you can use straight line. And tetrahedral, trigonal pyramidal, you can use three-dimensional structures. Okay, now we can learn electronegativity. So, ability of an electron to attract electrons, element to attract electrons within covalent bond is called electronegativity. Oxygen is more electronegative than hydrogen. Means on average, shared electrons are more likely to be found near the oxygen atom than near the hydrogen atoms. So oxygen, hydrogen, you can see more electron near the oxygen. So oxygen atom has partially negative charge symbolized by delta minus. Hydrogen atom, okay, has a partially positive charge symbolized by delta positive. The result of this uneven electron sharing is a dipole moment, separation of the charge within a bond. Covalent bonds have a dipole moment called polar covalent bonds. The value of electronegativity assigned using relative scale on fluorine. The most electronegative atom has an electronegative value of 4.0. You need to memorize electronegativity value. So fluorine has the highest electronegative value is 4.0. The same period, 0.5 difference. So next atom, 4.0 minus 0.5 equals 3.5. Okay. Electronegative value of nitrogen, 3.5 minus 0.5 equals 3.0. Next 2.5, 2.0, 1.5, 1.0. Okay. So 0.5 difference, period number two. Memorize electronegative values. And hydrogen also memorize 2.1. And then halogen, chlorine 3.0, bromine 2.8, iodine 2.5. Memorize electronegative values. Sulfur 2.5, phosphorus 2.1. Also memorize. Okay, effect of electronegativity difference on bond type. Okay, electronegativity difference, 0. Okay, 0 to 0.4, pure covalent bond. So, for example, Cl, electronegative value of Cl, 3.0, 3.0. Substrate, electronegativity value difference, that's 0. So between 0 and 0.4, we can call pure covalent bond. What's the name of this bond? Pure covalent bond. Okay. You need to use electronegativity value difference. What about 0.5 to 2.0? That's polar covalent. So HF, for example, HF, electronegative value of hydrogen 2.1, fluorine 4.0, subtract 1.9 difference. Okay, between 0.5 and 2.0. What is the name of this bond? Polar covalent bond. And then NaCl. Okay, NaCl. Okay, Na. Okay, 0.9. Cl 3.0 subtract 2.1. So greater than 2.0. So what is name? Ionic bond. Ionic bond. Okay. Polar molecule is one with polar bonds. And together they do not cancel each other to form net dipole moment. Consider carbon dioxide. This is the Lewis structure of carbon dioxide. When you write down electronegative values of oxygen 3.5, 3.5, carbon 2.5, and subtract 1.0 difference, 1.0 difference. What is the name of this bond? Polar covalent bond. There are two polar covalent bonds. So, but CO2 has linear geometry. So dipole moment of one bond completely cancels the dipole moment of each other's molecule is nonpolar. So dipole moment, so low electronegative value to higher electronegative value. So to the left, use arrow and draw the small cross line, looks like positive. You can put delta plus, delta minus. You can see dipole moment left and right. And but dipole moment cancel each other, the opposite side. That's why this is nonpolar. Even though there are two polar covalent bonds, CO2 is nonpolar molecule. What about water? So oxygen molecular geometry, that's bent, right? 3.5, hydrogen 2.1. Draw the dipole moment, hydrogen to oxygen. So you can see net dipole moment to the bottom to top. Okay. So this is 3 point minus 2.1 equals, we can get 1.4. 1.4 electronegative value different. So there are two polar covalent bonds. There are two polar bonds. And also you can see dipole moment, net dipole moment in this molecule. That's water is polar. Two dipole moment do not cancel. The molecule is polar. Okay, summary. Common case of adding dipole moment to determine whether or molecule is polar. So, CO2, there are two polar covalent bonds. Two identical polar pointing in opposite direction will cancel. The molecule is nonpolar. And then BH3, for example, okay, BH3. BH3. Three identical polar bonds at 120 from each other will cancel. This molecule is nonpolar. And for example, CH4. Four identical polar bonds in a tetrahedral arrangement will cancel. This molecule nonpolar. And NH3. Three polar bonds in trigonal pyramidal arrangement will not cancel. The molecule is polar. And then H2O. Two polar bonds with the angle less than 180 between them will not cancel. The molecule is polar. Okay, thank you for watching video.